Welcome back. In this video, we are going to implement a little feature which will allow us to view something on the map. For now, it will just be the map. So we will see a map activity, but later on we will add the feature which allows us to view the actual location of this happy place on the map. All right, so that's what we're going to build for now. And therefore we need to create a new activity. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to create an empty activity, which I'm going to call map activity. And then in the manifest, or first of all, here you can see R has to be imported, so it doesn't know our direction for R, the directory. And then the next thing is that we go to our Android manifest, and here I'm just gonna set up the same settings as for the other activities. So custom no bar theme or no action bar theme, it will be portrait, and here happy place map. Okay. So then the next thing is going to be this, to design the activity map. So this activity map XML, because in here I want to use a map fragment. So here, first of all, we should have a toolbar. So let's just add a toolbar as we've done in other cases. So it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference to other toolbars that we've created so far is the ID here. It will be toolbar underscore map. And now in here, I would like to create a map fragment. And in order to do so, you can just use the fragment keyword. And then you have to assign a width. So I'm going to say it should match its parent in both directions. I'm going to give it an ID, which I'm going to call map. And then on top of that, I want to assign the constraints. It's going to be the following ones. So bottom to bottom of parent, end to end of parent, start to start of parent, and top to bottom of toolbar. So it should be underneath the toolbar. Now there's one more setting that we need to add here, and that is we can assign a class here, which I'm going to assign to com.google.android.gms.maps.support map fragment, because we want this fragment to eventually be our map, our Google map. All right. Okay. So then in our activity happy place detail, so in the resources, I would like to add a button. So let's go to this layout and add a button to the very bottom. Okay. So here it should be inside of the scroll view and inside of the constraint layout, but it should be underneath the lowest text view or deepest text view, which is our TV location. So in here, I would like to have this button, and it's going to be a generic button. So as you can see, match parent in its width. So it's going to be pretty wide. It's just going to be as high as it requires. It's going to be centered. It's going to have margins, and the background should be a shape button around it, which we have used before. So we created this back in the day in another lecture. And as you can see, there are a bunch of new dimensions and also new strings. So the text should be button text view on map. So let's add all of those dimensions and also those strings to our project. So here in dimensions, as you can see, we have already many different dimensions. And here, this one will be button view on map, margin start 8 density pixels, margin top 16, padding top to bottom 8 density pixels, and text size will be 18 sp. And then we have one string. So let's go to strings and add that one string, which was just the button text. So button text view on map, view on map. And now we just need to give this button view on map, which we just created, which is in our activity happy place. Here, this one, we need to give it an on-click listener. So on which page is it? Well, it's on the happy place detail activity. So let's just go there, happy place detail activity. And here we will add an on-click listener to it. So as we've done with the other ones, we're just going to keep it simple here. So I'm just going to say button view on map, set on click listener. and then we use the curly brackets here. I just want to have an intent here, which will open up the map activity. So here we need to import intent, and then we need to pass in the context. So I'm going to pass in this, and also the activity that we want to go to, which is our map activity, right? So map activity class.java. All right. And then the next thing is, of course, to start this intent. But I also want to pass something. So when I click on this, I want to give this intent some extra information, which will be our main activity dot extra place details. So let's get them here. Extra place details. And the detail itself will be our happy place detail model. So this object that we created earlier on, which is this one here. All right, so we pass that as well in this intent, and then we start the activity. Start activity with this intent that we prepared. All right, at this point, we should be able to get this running and test the functionality. All right, there we had our test one, and you can see the view on map button is there. Let's click on it. And let's see if the map opens, and there you are. So the Google Maps activity opened up, and now we can see the map. Of course, we don't have any controls. We don't have any additional detail. And as you can see, there is no action bar here, and that is because I didn't assign the right height here for this button, and that's activity map. So here I used match parent, but we could of course also use 0 density pixels so that our toolbar still has some space. So testing that once again and going to our map, we can see now the toolbar is still there. All right, so now that we have the map here, it's time to display the right location on the map. So let's add a little marker to it in the next video. See you there.